to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Stash, a bit weird.
And we're glad to have you today. We are back to our normal recording schedule. So today is Wednesday, even though I keep thinking it might be Tuesday or Friday or I don't know. The days are very mixed up.
Yeah.
Not recording on Wednesday last week totally threw me off. I couldn't figure out what day it was to save my life. But I know that today is Wednesday, the 18th of March, because the show notes say so. And this is episode 132. And it's going to be a long one, I think, because we have so much to talk about. And videos and photos and I'm exhausted just thinking of it. How about you? Sure. Well, we should start by saying a big hiya. We love you. To all our returning viewers. And a big hello. So glad you've joined us. To any new viewers, we hope you enjoy the show and thanks for giving us a shot. Damaris, why don't you do some shout outs to some people who joined the group this past week and a half.
Okay. Kayla, who is a little elvish from New Jersey. Roslyn, who is Dance in Knit from British Columbia, Canada.
Yep.
And Pat, who is Pat Roth from Minnesota.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. So Damaris, if somebody is watching right now and they are not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do?
Join.
And then what?
Introduce yourself in our introductions thread and you'll get a shout out on our next episode.
Yep. And that will also qualify you to be able to participate in any cows or giveaways and all that, because if you're not a member of the group, you can't win. Yep. All right, well, with all that, I think we probably should get started. So here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what's on your needle spare?
Oh my gosh!
Stay tuned to the end of the show for our outtake.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
Or for an outtake that includes bah,
Stop.
bah. We love sheep. Okay, Damaris, what's on your needles?
A pair of socks from my friend.
Tell us about them as they fall.
I
think you might have dropped a stitch, did you?
No.
No, okay.
They're on US 1.5 2.5 millimeter needles, and the yarn is Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in the Make Believe colorway.
Hold it closer so they can see. Pretty. And what pattern are you using?
Cece's Vanilla Cappuccino socks.
With?
The Fish Lips Kiss heel.
That's right. Okay, so how long are you going to make these socks?
I'm going to make the leg, like if you fold it over, that long.
Including the cuff?
Yeah.
So you'll stop an inch or so before that?
Yes.
And what kind of cuff are you going to do?
A rib one.
Are you going to do like twisted rib or just regular rib?
I don't know yet.
I highly recommend a 1x1 twisted rib. That's what I do in all my socks now.
Okay.
And it fits really good. And it looks so pretty because the knit stitches just like pop just like that.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I recommend. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying that's what I recommend.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
So what's on your needles?
A lot of stuff. And I can tell you now, I didn't get much progress really on too much of anything this past week and a half because of EYF, but also I have no clue where I was last week to tell you what progress I did get done. So we're just going to go with it and see what happens. So first up, I'm doing a mama vertebrae for myself. It's a pattern by Kelly Brooker, and it's out of Yarnorama in the Cerise colorway, and I'm using US 2 2.75 mil and US 3 3.25 mil. So, sorry, it needs to be blocked. I finished the edging on the body. I just did garter stitch edging, and I have put back on the needles the first sleeve, and I picked up underneath the armpit, but I picked up more stitches than they recommended because it looked really weird. There were some gaps.
Okay.
So I can always decrease, but my upper arms have a little bit more there than some people, and so I want to make sure it's not like on my arm. So I can wait and start some decreases after that. So I just did this last night because I was like, okay, I have to get these on the needles. So I've just barely started the sleeve, and it's a long sleeve, and it'll have garter at the bottom of the sleeve too. So I'm working on that. And then I'm working on my BFF Cal, which is a pattern from Knitty by Isolde Teague and Tiny Owl Knits. I'm using King Cole Bounty Erin in the Pink Mist colorway, and I'm on US 7's 4.5 mil. So I'm now halfway done with this piece, because I did this whole 4th flower last night. I want to say maybe last week I had done just the first 2. So maybe I did 2 this week. So that means I have 4 more left, and then we've got to block all 4 pieces because Damaris has hers that are in a lavender color. So we'll block all 4 pieces and then we'll graft them. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have this done. When it then all of a sudden it starts getting too warm. So I did not plan well. But Damaris has been done for a year, so I thought I should probably get going on them. So. And the third thing on the needles is from my CC's Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern on US 1.5's 2.5 mil needles. I'm using Spun Right Round Snappy Socks in the bubble colorway. That is about to fall on the floor. Good catch there. Did you see that? That reaction time? I got it. Here, so here's the first sock. I know I got some done on the leg, but I don't know where I was last week. But I typically make mine at least all the way to the toe before I start the
cuff.
Yes, that would be it. So I took these with me to EYF, and I got a few rounds, but I don't know. So I'm still working on these. Yeah. So, and I think that's everything that's on my needles right now. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
Nope, I finished 2 this week.
Projects.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So first up is this week's preemie hat. This is number 11 for the year. It's from my top-down preemie hat pattern, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I did it on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is James C. Brett Marble Chunky in the blue colorway. So, yeah. I didn't do any striping or anything. I just knew I needed to get a hat done, and so I just picked a solid that kind of color shifts. So it's not really a solid. It's a marbled. That's what it's called, marble. Marble. It's marbled. So it gives it a pretty design. I don't know.
Semi-solid.
Okay. Yeah, what she said. And then the other thing I finished came out of this bag, but it's actually not in this bag. It's actually in the kitchen soaking so I can block it, but I couldn't show you anyway. It is the first pattern for the Doctor Who Companions Sock Club 3rd edition. So I bound that off last night, and Damaris wound the yarn for me for the second pattern, and I'm going to get that cast on. Maybe not today, probably tomorrow, because I still have to edit the whole show and all that. So, yeah. So that's what I finished this week. Are you ready to move on to all the things that we're going to show?
Yes.
All right, here come all the things we're going to show. And now it's time for our favorite part of our show, yummies. 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 What are yummies, Mary?
The longest part of our show.
Although sometimes it's rivaled by books and TV. But today, I have a feeling it's going to be the longest part of our show, because we have lots to show you. So, what are yummies?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So, this segment is going to be probably 65 to 70% EYF. So I should say what EYF is if people don't know.
What is EYF?
Edinburgh Yarn Festival.
What's that?
So it was a fiber festival held here in Edinburgh.
What's that? Saturday
and Sunday. If they're watching this, they probably know what a fiber festival is.
No, what's in Edinburgh?
Can you tell how exhausted we are? So, yeah. Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So, I shared a booth with our good friend Sam, who is Stealth Dragon on Ravelry. She has the Knit Run Dig podcast, and she does Knit Run Dig project bags. So, she was here. She came up from London. And, okay, so we started with... I can't find... We got dual identities, which was kind of confusing. So they gave us name badges to get in. So, you know, I'm an exhibitor, Java Pearl Designs. I added my little Ravelry button there. But then they brought us podcaster ones. And so it was like, which side do I have showing? Multiple identities. Oh my goodness. It just kind of twisted and turned around. But at some point before the festival started, Sam and I went to Sainsbury's. Mm-hmm. You weren't with us. Where were you?
Drama.
Oh, she was at classes. So we went to Sainsbury's, which for those in the U.S., it's kind of like a super Walmart type store. It's a grocery store, but it has other stuff. And we were browsing for things for the booth, and we happened to come across these scarves. They have kittens and yarn balls and knitting needles. How fabulous is that? So we decided that they were the uniform for our booth. So all three of us got them. You're not wearing yours.
No.
It's in your room.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd be upset if we didn't get you a kitten and yarn balls and knitting needles.
Yeah.
So we all three wore those in a multitude of ways. As belts, as hair things, as cowls, as scarves. Yeah. And Sam brought us project bags before we even started with all this. So do you want to show what project bag you got?
Sure.
It's really cute. London.
Mm-hmm.
It's the back. Okay. And the handles made that fabric. What's the inside fabric?
I don't remember.
Oh, the polka dots.
Polka dots.
And it's a wedge bag. It's a small wedge, right?
Yep.
So it's good for like cowls and hats and scarves and stuff.
Socks.
Well, yeah, socks, because you do yours two at a time. It's a little bigger. It's a smidge bigger than necessary for like how I would do the socks, a single at a time. But it's still, I mean, I still use them for that. So, yay. And I got the bunnies with polka dots. It's a drawstring bag, and it's lined with purple fabric, but it also has an inside pocket.
An inside bag?
Inside pocket for all your things that you need to put in a pocket. Like
the One Ring.
Like, I don't know.
The One Ring.
Why would I put the One Ring in my knitting pocket?
Well, it's a pocket.
Stitch markers, tools, foldable scissors, I don't know, things, you put them in there. Okay, so EYF. So we have some video and photos to put in. So why don't we start with the photos? So they're mainly, I think they're all of our booth. So kind of as we started setting up, and then I think of the booth completely done, and us in the booth, and I think there's a picture with all three of us. And I think there's a picture when we're breaking down and taking stuff away. I think that may be all the pictures. The booth went really, really well. We had a lot of success. We met a lot of amazing people, and I'm not even going to try to name them because I will leave someone out, and I don't want to do that. But we met amazing people, and we're so thankful for those of you who were there and were able to come by the booth, and we were able to see you in person. And yeah. So why don't we put the videos in next? So the first one, if you have motion sickness issues at all, you do not want to watch it because it is a time lapse of almost all of the booths at EYF. Damaris took it. It's like 10 seconds long, but it is hysterical. It is so funny. So we'll put that one in, and then the one after that is about 3.5 minutes, and it's a slower walk through, but still could be bumpy because there's people and you're weaving through and all the booths. So if you have issues with motion sickness, you probably want to fast forward about 4 minutes. If you don't and want to see, here they come. Hiya!
So which color?
I like that mood.
No, that was another one just along on that one.
I think it's really underrated.
It is underrated.
See you later.
All right, so that was kind of the videos. We wanted to take more, and it was just too insane. Too insane. But we did manage to relieve each other at various points so we could go shopping. So this is in no particular order. It's in the order that I remembered it to put it in the show notes. So first up is I went to Susan Crawford's Vintage Knitting booth and bought a sweaters quantity of Excelana DK Luxury Wool in the ruby red colorway. It's not quite that bright in person. It's a little more subdued. So, yeah, I bought 14 skeins of it. And it is going to be made into, not the most recent pom-pom issue, but the one before that, and it was on the cover. It's called Fairchild, and it's inspired by the Audrey Hepburn version of the movie Sabrina, which I love, and I love the more recent one too because it's got Harrison Ford in it. And so I'm going to knit that. It's got pocketses, and that was my main thing on my list of what I wanted to make sure and buy at EYF. So I got a sweater's quantity of yarn. So I broke my yarn diet. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, next up, so I should have put on the earrings. So y'all might remember at Unwind Brighton that I bought those knitting needle earrings where it was like, it was a long plastic one that had been cut, and so one end of it was here and the pointy ends here, and it was done by Yellow Bear Wares, and I knew I had to get back and buy another piece of jewelry. So I bought this knitting needle ring. Isn't it cool? It's not one that I'm going to wear every day because I keep poking myself with the little needle part. I have to figure out how to wear it better. But, yes. So, stopped there. Damaris was the inspiration for the next purchase, so why don't you tell us about them?
We got pom-poms from Toft.
So what are these made of?
Alpaca.
And I actually, when I was working on the show notes a while ago and linked it up, and what it said is that these pom-poms are made from the pelts of alpaca who die naturally. They're not killed for their pelts. But it allows the farmers to recoup some of the cost of the animal that passed away. So I thought that was really pretty cool that they're making use of something that might not be used otherwise. So why did we buy pom-poms?
I saw them. They were hanging in the booth, and they looked like tribbles.
And why did you want a tribble?
Because I want to cosplay Chekhov. And so, of course, I need a tribble.
Because you're obsessed with Star Trek right now.
I was always obsessed with Star Trek.
And I was paying with a debit card, and they had a minimum. So I got a pom-pom too. I'm going to probably put it on a hat. But my gosh, they are so soft.
They have a calming effect on the humanoid nervous system. If only they purred.
I named mine George because I hug it and love it and call it George.
I need to name mine.
He could be George the Second.
No.
So there's our pom-poms from Toft. I could hang it. It could be like an earring. No, like look at that big earring. Okay, we should move on to the next part. So you want to show your yarn first?
Sure.
So why don't you tell us where this came from?
Easy Knits.
Which is a fantabulous booth. You remember that sushi roll that I bought at Unwind Brighton?
Yes, I do.
That was from Easy Knits. I was actually wearing those socks last night. Okay, so tell us what you got.
I got...
Because you already wound yours.
Yes. Got Arcadia yarn, which is 50% Suri alpaca and 50% merino in the Kirk colorway.
And what weight is it?
Sport. Yes, they had a whole line of Star Trek yarn. Every color of the rainbow. It was all Star Trek yarn.
And you went with Kirk.
Yeah.
Because it matched your nails.
Yeah.
She's obsessed with mustardy yellow now. And I got this gorgeousness. Can you see the sparkle? The sparkle's hard to see. You can see it a little bit. So this is their Twinkle Base, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, in the 4-ply weight, 100 grams, 400 meters, and the colorway is Ghost Kiss. So Sam bought this yarn for us to say thank you for letting her stay with us and everything. Damaris had told me she saw it when she went over there, and I was like, oh, go take a picture of it, because I wasn't planning on buying any single skeins, because, hello. But I will not say no to a gift. So instead of coming back with a picture of it for me, Sam bought it. So thank you, Sam. Okay, what's next? What's next? You have yarn.
I do. More yarn.
Oh, and I have the things here. I'll get it. Go ahead, talk.
I bought this myself. It's John
Arvind.
John Arvind Knit by Numbers Merino double knit.
And what line is it? It's the Knit by Numbers. You said that.
Knit by Numbers.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to show it? It's looking more blue than purple. It's a really bright purple.
It's purple.
So, the really cool thing is we were talking to them and telling them, you know, that we're podcasters, and we told them we would talk about their yarn. And they gave us color cards for all the colors in this range. So yours is right here somewhere. What number is it?
25.
25. 20. Oh, it can't be 20. Oh, yeah, I can. I'm looking at your yellow. Purple. 25. So they have 36. They have all the way to 61, and then they start again at 68, all the way through 85.
There's so many.
There's so many colors.
They're all so pretty.
They are. This was actually my second choice for sweater quantity, if I had not gotten that. And I know y'all will probably think I'm insane, but I was thinking about something in the orange range.
Who are you?
I know. What have you done with me? And they also gave us a catalog with all their yarns and things like that in it.
That's so pretty.
Very pretty. So John Arvind. Everything we're talking about today is linked in the show notes. Okay, what's after that? Oh, we bought stitch markers. So our booth was just across the, I was going to say road, but it's not a road. Aisle. I'm sorry, I'm making crinkly. I'm trying to get all these out. From Alprint Panda. And I follow her on Ravelry, so. So she had a thing for, you could get 5 stitch markers. And so I was getting myself some, so I asked Damaris if she wanted some. So why don't you show yours first?
There's an umbrella.
Hold it closer.
Umbrella.
There you go. Hold it in front of my hand, my palm. Oops, you got it?
And a bird's nest.
With little pearl type things for that. And then I got, hold your hand up there for me, so I can show it in front of it. I got this wee tiny mushroom. And I got a little birdie. And I got, I think it's a teapot, but I can also call it a coffee pot.
They had a cup of coffee there.
Oh, I missed it. She had so many, like boxes full. So yay for new stitch markers. And then quite possibly my favorite part of EYF, my favorite purchase. So this came from Eileen Clark Crafts. Here's one of her flyers. She does needle felted items. So she does jewelry, cards, mugs, textiles, notebooks, felt, and fiber art. This is her one of her business cards. She had a bunch. They all had different pictures on them. And she let me pick which one because it's going to get hung up on our, what's that thing over there called?
Clothesline?
Clotheslines on our wall that have pictures and stuff. Isn't that gorgeous? She said the full size of this one is actually hanging in her house. So, and it was so cute. It came in a wee little box with a ribbon. So I'm going to take it off so that I can show you close up what it looks like. There we go. So it's a cherry tree with 3 wee little sheepies. And it's a brooch. And I do believe it's going to become my new signature piece. I've had it on almost every day since I bought it. I didn't buy it the first day but I was thinking about it. I kept thinking about it, and we were having dinner here at that flat, and I was like, oh my gosh, that brooch. And so first thing Sunday morning, I was like in there, and I was like, I need the brooch. I need it. And so I bought that. So, yeah. Yeah, so it was amazing. Amazing, exhausting, but amazing. Amazing. Did you ever pop by the Podcaster Lounge?
No.
I popped in a couple of times, but very brief periods because it was just so busy that I had to get back in the booth. But we did our hashtag GGK Crafty Pet, hashtag EYF 2015 challenge. So the 2 prompts were, what were the prompts?
Shenanigans and enabling.
Shenanigans and enabling. So we chose 4 winners, and they each win a prize because they're the winners. Oh yeah. They each win a pattern from my Ravelry shop. So I posted on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook the video of the pictures, and I've contacted all of them. So I've heard back from 2 of them already. 2 of them have already claimed their prize. So yay. So thanks for participating in that. Is there anything else EYF that we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So let's move on to the next yummies. So we got a parcel this week in the midst of the EYF madness from Tasha, who is T&T Knits on Ravelry. Look at this card. Isn't it cute? It's knitted cables. I'm trying to make sure everything doesn't fall off my lap here. She sent us 3 hats for Knit for Peace. The first one is a striped preemie hat, and it's Barocco vintage. And then this one, the orange one, which is a barley. Tin Can Knits barley. I need to knit one of these for myself. Maybe I'll knit it out of that pink yarn right there and put my pom-pom on the top. That would be fabulous.
Which pink yarn? I don't see any pink yarn.
Yes. So that's also Barocco vintage. And then this, oops, I already showed that one.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Cascade Heritage. I love the little dubobber on top. So thank you so much, Tasha, for those donations for Knit for Peace. We will get them put with all the rest of the donations so that we can send them on their way to Knit for Peace. We got another parcel in the post from Katie, who is Mint Rain on Ravelry, and she also has the Mint Rain shop on Etsy. And we're going to talk about that a little more later in the episode because we have a giveaway from her. But we're going to show you what she sent for us. So why don't you go first?
Okay.
Well, maybe I should show the card. There's a cute little card she sent with a little turtle.
Girl.
All right, go ahead.
I got this tough sock yarn in the Ravenclaw colorway.
And I like that it's 2 skeins so that you have for each sock.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you won't have to weigh them, to separate them.
Mm-hmm.
What base is that?
Tough sock.
Oh, tough sock. So it's superwash merino and nylon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's self-striping.
Ooh.
Yay. Okay, and then you got some mini skeins. If you'll tell... Okay, let's see. The pink one is Pink Lemonade.
Yum.
The blue, white, and black is Police Box. The yellow, orange, and red... No, yellow, orange, and red is Sunset. The blue, gray, and green is Argyle. And the gray, white, and yellow is Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I got, also on her Tough Sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards, 100 grams, self-striping, Zombie Love. Can you see the black? It's not really black, it's more of a gray black. And the neon green and neon pink. And it's self-striping! And that's not all she sent us. She sent us candies, which Damaris and I actually both gave up candy for Lent. So these have just been taunting us.
I claim half of each box of those.
That's fine. So we're going to have to hide them from ourselves until Lent is over. But she also sent me, I'm trying to pick them all up from my lap.
Non-candy edible items for her.
Yes, so gluten-free items. So she sent me 4 different kind bars. Dark chocolate nuts and sea salt, almond and coconut, caramel almond and sea salt, cranberry almond. But she also sent me Lara bars, which I adore Lara bars. I haven't had one in so long. So that one's apple pie, blueberry muffin, and cherry pie. Yum, yum. They're gluten-free, so yay. That's very positive for me. So thank you so much, Katie. And we will talk a little bit more about her and her business later in the show. So stay tuned for the giveaway. All right, what's next? Oh, I got more yarn, but I did not break my yarn diet to get it. Because my sister technically paid for it because it's for Christmas stockings for her house. So this was not increasing my stash. It was purposefully purchased for that. So these are the 3 colors I'll be using. It's Cascade 220. I don't know if they say the colorway.
Red, gray, green.
This one I think is Gris. I think this is Highland Green, and I think this is Christmas Red. So I'll be doing some striped Christmas stockings. Damaris already wound a skein of each of them, and then I'm trying to remember how much I got. I think I got 10 skeins total, so maybe 3, 3, and 4, or something like that. So I actually will need to get started on these because I would like to have them done before November, so by the end of October. So I've kind of measured out rows and things to see if I can make that happen. Okay, next up. I had a pattern kind of released today. So it was already out because it was in the Doctor Who Companion Sock Club first edition. So it's the final pattern from the first edition. It's Souffle Girl, inspired by Clara Oswald. It's got, I'm putting a picture up on the screen. It's got a cable down the side with tiny little souffle tops on the rest of the sock. So it went, but it came out of exclusivity today and is available to the general public. I did not put this back on very well after I took it off to show y'all. So I'm having a sale for it right now from today through the 25th of March. You can get 25% off the single pattern with the code Souffle Girl. And also, this is the final sale at this point for the Doctor Who Companion Sock Club First Edition. Through the 25th, you can get 10% off with the code ebook3. And the Ultimate Doctor Who Inspired Sock Collection Volume 1, which is an 8-pattern collection, you can get 10% off through the 25th of March with the code Ultimate3. So, yeah, though that has released, and if you had been wanting to get it and you couldn't because it was in exclusivity, you can now get it. So, check it out. The ebooks are the better value because you get more patterns for a lesser price. So, you should try that. Okay, Damaris, is that everything other than our normal stuff?
Yes.
That was so much stuff. So much. Okay, let's talk about hashtag Dziedzic Crafty Pet. What is it?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. And you take a look at the prompt list for the month, and then you take a picture related to that prompt, and you post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
So what's our theme this month?
Colors.
Other than EYF. We went out of the colors for that.
Your true colors.
My earring is getting stuck on the kitties.
I don't think that's how the song goes.
No, that's not how the song goes. Oh, that just reminded me that I have to tell y'all 2 funny things in a minute. But first, we're going to show you some pictures. What are we showing them?
2 photos from us that we liked, 5 photos from other people that we liked, and the 4 winners for the...
No, I already showed the 4 winners.
We already did. Okay.
Yeah, we showed the 4 winners already.
Okay.
So, here come the photos. so those were the photos. Great job, everybody. I love seeing what y'all have to show us. It's very inspiring. So, okay, so let me tell you the two funnies from EYF. So, we had, I think this was on Friday night, but it could have been Saturday night. No, it must have been, no. It was either on Friday or Saturday night. And Sam had looked at Eden Cottage yarns because they were really close to us, and their yarn is so squishy, and so she was like being enabled because of the squishiness, and I was like, well, I have some. I knit, because I knit my fingerless gloves. I can't remember what the pattern name is. It's by Claire Devine. I don't remember. Anyway, I knit them out of their 100% baby alpaca, and I still have some left. And so I was like, do you want to squeeze my baby alpaca? And everybody like looked at me like I was crazy, and then we all were cracking up laughing. So
You want to squeeze my alpaca?
so that's where the title of the episode came from. The other funny is that there was a grocery store right next door to the venue for EYF, and Sam had run over to get something, and she bought some cakes, like small mini cakes to have for dessert after dinner that night. And I was carrying the bag they were in back out to the car. So this must have been Sunday night after EYF was over. So we had loaded up the car and everything. And I was carrying them, but I knew I needed to have the iPad in my hands because it had the map on it because I was navigating for Sam. And so I was looking for a place to put the cakes. And we had gotten this wooden shoe rack that was essentially, I mean, just a piece across to stack your shoes on and under. But we were using it to elevate stuff in the booth. And so there was nothing, it was on its side and there was nothing in it. There was room in it. So I was like, hey Sam, I put the cakes in the shoe rack. And she cracked up and she was like, that's not something you hear every day. And so, do you want to squeeze my baby alpaca? And the cakes are in the shoe rack. That, I think, kind of sums up EYF. So, but we have more upcoming events. I guess I'll start. I knit Fandango.
Yes.
I'm going to be there in London in May. So it'll be just me, not Damaris with me or the hubs with me. But I'm meeting Sam because she lives in London. It's on Friday the 15th of May and Saturday the 16th of May at the Royal Horticultural Halls in Linley Hall, Westminster, London. And so I'll be vending with Sam there just like I did at EYF. Do you want to talk about the next one that we'll be at?
Sure. The Edinburgh Yarn Crawl 2015 will be on Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of June.
Yes.
So.
So all the details about that haven't come out yet. I think everybody is recouping from EYF first, so hopefully we'll have some more details about that. I think Sam is coming up, if everything works out, so that'll be fun. And then the final event that is upcoming is the Geeky Puffin Knitpalooza, which is a retreat that you and I and Sam are hosting here in Edinburgh in the end of October. We gave out a gazillion and one flyers at EYF, so if everybody that said they were interested signs up, we're going to fill up pretty fast. So if you're interested... Oh, I didn't even give you the card to show, Damaris. I don't know where it is. Oh, wait, here it is. Hold on, hold that thought. There you go.
Okay.
Show them the website. geekypuffinknitpalooza.blogspot.co.uk. All the details are there. Application forms are there. We're willing to work with you on the payment schedule. Just let us know that you need us to do that. So... And Damaris is once again showing the puffins. What did you point to for Sam?
Nothing.
Oh. She's far. She's not here. We wanted to record something and we just didn't get it done. It was too busy. Too crazy, too crazy, too crazy. Okay, I think that's everything for this segment now that it is about 67 minutes long. Not really, but almost. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I mean, yeah. Craziness. So we probably should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we're reading and watching.
Yes, so what are you reading, Damaris?
I am almost done with Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I'm like on the last 10 pages.
Oh, brilliant. So you don't have far to go at all.
No.
Well, that's good. And then what are you going to read next after that, do you know?
Their Eyes Were Watching God.
I don't know if I've read that one. I don't know. Don't know. Okay, so should I talk about these? Okay, so I'm reading, so my third nonfiction book for the year. I've got to get going on this because it's getting close to the end of March. I need to finish this by the end of March. Is Soulful Spirituality Becoming Fully Alive and Deeply Human by David G. Benner. But I'm also reading my fourth nonfiction book of the year with you and the Hubs. What is it? Why don't you tell them?
Cross-Shattered Christ, Meditations on the Seven Last Words by Stanley Hauerwas.
Yes, so we're reading that and discussing it together during Lent. Fiction-wise, I'm still reading the Magnificent Devices series, which is a steampunk adventure series by Shelley Adina. I had already read books 1 through 4, but then I got books 5 through 7, and so I wanted to reread 1 through 4. So I actually finished that. I finished rereading book 3, which was Magnificent Devices, and book 4, which was Brilliant Devices. And I just started last night book 5, A Lady of Resources. I also finished reading Splinters of Light by Rachel Herron, which was a very, very good book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't want to put it down. Yeah. And then we read, we read just one episode of Virtual Gilmore this past week because things were too insane. We just didn't have time. So, yeah, we'll get back on that this week. So, I think that's all the books.
So now we're going to talk about TV.
Okay. You start.
Stargate Universe. We're watching season 2.
That blue stuff, and she's turning into something weird, and they were like, he was hallucinating. It was very strange last night when we watched an episode. Wasn't it? It was very strange.
Okay.
I don't really remember watching this at all, because I think maybe I blocked it out because it's... Yeah, but we have to finish it. We've watched all the Stargate.
It's almost been a year since we started it.
Really?
We started it last summer. We're just like, oh, it'll just take a summer. No, it won't.
Well, we watched 10 seasons of SG-1. How many seasons were there of Atlantis?
5.
5. And then 2 seasons of Universe. That's a lot of TV.
We're going to watch the movie.
Oh,
Should all.
We
That
should have
only
started with that.
It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Just like, okay, let's watch Stargate.
Yes. So, then you and I are watching Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Mm-hmm. I've watched it before. You haven't seen it. We talked about it last time about your name being inspired by Michaela. Johnny Cash was in it. And when I looked it up on IMDb, he's going to be in more episodes, and his wife's going to be in some of the episodes. How do you feel about the show?
I don't know.
You told me it was very 70s.
1870s.
I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember watching this, and Sully and Dr. Quinn, and oh. I love this show. Okay, what else are we talking about? I'm watching season 3 of Felicity. I must have watched at least one episode in the last week and a half, but I could not tell you what it was about because, yeah, my brain's not working very well. And then the Hubs and I are rewatching Mad About You. We finished season 5 and now we're watching season 6. And baby was born, baby Mabel. I remember all the brouhaha when they ended the season, and we knew it was a girl, but they hadn't told us what the name was going to be. And for the whole summer, about people like, what are they going to name the baby? And then it ended up being the acronym, Mothers Always Bring Extra Love. Mabel. Yeah. What else? We watched the final episode of Series 4 of Call the Midwife. Crying and crying and crying. But it was really good. So States, I think, is going to get it here pretty quick. The Hubs and I are watching Once Upon a Time, Season 4. Can we say this show has completely and totally jumped the shark? Yeah.
I don't know, can we?
Yes, I just did. He wants to watch it, so I'm watching it with him because I know he watches stuff with me that he doesn't necessarily want to watch. But OMG, it's jumped the shark. Yes. They turned Pinocchio back into
a real boy.
No, to a man. Into August.
But why?
Because he has information about the author.
Tony Amendola. Master Braytac.
Master Braytac
is Geppetto?
Yes, he's Pinocchio's father. Tony Amendola is from...
Amendola.
Amendola is from Stargate. Yes. Okay, and then what else? The Hubs and I are watching NCIS LA Season 7. No clue what the episode was about because you've already heard my excuse. So yeah, but we watched it, okay? Okay, your turn.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2.12, Who We Really Are. Had Lady Sif in it. And Eddie McClintock.
Yeah, Eddie McClintock was in it. Yeah, I was like, oh, I know who that is.
They must have put a filter on his voice or something, because that was not his voice.
That was weird. His voice sounded really strange. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say about S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No.
There was a new episode on last night. What are we going to watch?
2.13, One of Us.
One of Us.
One of Us.
Then we watched NCIS 12.17, The Artful Dodger. Ducky is being called Grand Ducky by Jimmy's little one. And
it was going to be.
Yeah.
The baby can't speak yet.
Well, yes, but that's like my mama and dad were Dupont Bima even before you could say it. So, and Abby sewed skull pajamas for Denozo Sr. and Gibbs wants her to sew some for Grand Ducky. Yeah, so Denozo Sr. was back in this episode. He is always so good. I really enjoyed that when they have him on. The next episode is the 24th. It's 12.18 status update. We're watching NCIS New Orleans Season 1 and Person of Interest Season 4 and
Criminal Minds Season 10
and The Big Bang Theory Season 8. I don't know what happened in any of those. I watched them, but I don't know. Do you know anything that happened in those?
Murder.
Yes, murder. Not on Big Bang Theory. There was no murder in Big Bang Theory because that would have been like, what? No clue. No clue. And then your turn.
Elementary 3.17, T-Bone and the Iceman. Murder.
Murder. Murder. Oh, it was the one with the stuff in the back of the van and Frozen and that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the next one called?
3.18, The View from Olympus.
It's not till April 2nd.
What? Oh.
You can blame basketball.
I will.
Okay. And then we watched 3 movies over the past week and a half. Yeah, this was what we did every night after we came home from EYF. So Friday from the setup and Saturday and Sunday we picked up dinner or the Hubs made something and we came in and we just watched a Star Trek movie. So take it away, Damaris, because you're going to want to talk about these in detail, probably.
Yeah, Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek Insurrection and Star Trek the one that never happened, Nemesis.
They killed Data.
I know!
They killed Data.
Yes, if you watched this without me, I can see why you didn't let me watch it, because I probably would have been very distraught.
I don't remember it. I don't remember any of those three. I know I watched them. We rated them on IMDb.
Oh.
But
well,
I don't remember.
See why you didn't let me as a small child watch Nemesis, because I would have been very, very distraught.
That they killed Data.
Yes, Data is my favorite character. Data and Jordy are my favorite characters.
Why didn't you get Data or Jordy yarn?
Because they didn't have any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if there was a Data or a Jordy yarn, I would have gotten it. But it might have been the same color as this, because they wear yellow uniforms too.
Oh, okay. We did read in the trivia that if there had been another movie, Data would have been brought back.
Yes.
In B4's body.
Yes.
Yeah. What else do you want to say about Star Trek?
Blue skies.
At the wedding, at Troy and Riker's wedding.
They got married.
Yes.
No, Riker is Mr. Troy.
Mr. Troy.
Captain Troy.
Yes, because he's taking on his own ship. Is it going to make you cry?
Yes. Star Trek. Do you ever just think about Star Trek and then you cry? I do.
That was a lot. Maybe we should move on to the next segment. We may take a break and have a drink of water first, but we'll be right back.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring cow.
Yes. So, quickly, because I know this is running long already. We'll be as fast as we can. It started on the 1st of March and runs through the 31st of May. You can enter any project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to spring. Damaris has given you ideas before, or rewatch old episodes if you need help with that. You have to start your project on the 1st of March or later, and it must be finished by the 31st of March. You can double dip in other cows. We now have 4 prizes. Let me quickly tell you about them. From Kelly, who is Kelly Cron on Ravelry. She donated a goodie bag with a TARDIS Wraps for Inch keychain, Wraps for Inch info card, TARDIS yarn button, toasted coconut Lolo bar sample, and a Doodle Dream card. Julia, who is Nimrus from Pandia's Jewels, donated 5 mini skeins, 24 grams, 120 yards, and 3 Star Trek stitch markers. Christy, who is Christy Ray on Ravelry, donated a coupon code for $5.50 to my Ravelry pattern store, so that should get you 1 single pattern. And then from our bag of prizes, we have a Top World drop spindle with Hilltop Cloud silk hankies to spin on it. Every project counts as 1 entry. You have to be a member of the group. You have to post the picture in the FO thread. You have 30 days to claim your prize if you win. Hashtag is GGKSSK. Chatter thread in the group. Okay. All right, Damaris, who finished projects in the last week and a half?
Okay. A Whole Line Knitting, Angie's Hip, Apple 380 times 2, Celeste times 3, Crouching Cheese, Evil Twin 2, Gypsy the Dog, H. Scruggs, Inagata Danita, Cat Wings times 4, Little Angel SG2 times 3, Looney Hiker, Mad 79, Mimi Teacher, Phoenix Fire times 3, Rose Bob, RS Island times 3, Vegan Julie times 4, and Well Woman.
Yay, great job, everybody.
Woo.
So keep working on those projects, and we'll see you in the spring chatter thread. All right, let's move on to the next cow. All right, next up is the Outlander cowl. I am co-hosting this with Jasmine and Gigi from the Knitmore Girls, Maria from Subway Knits, and Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast. It's an Instagram cowl. Your project must somehow be related to Outlander. However you can connect it is fine. I've given you ideas in previous episodes. You have to post your finished project on Instagram and hashtag it with hashtag KiltMeNowCowl. There's a thread in the group for questions. We're gonna announce the winners of these prizes at the end of season 1, which season 1 second half starts in about 3 weeks. I think that's right. About 3 weeks. Early April. So here quickly are the prizes from Jess. who has Ginger Twist Studio, which is our local yarn store here in Edinburgh. It's a skein of Outlander yarn in the J. Supri colorway. From Julia of Pandia's Jewels and I, we're donating an Outlander socks kit, which has a skein of her yarn, goodies and notions to match the theme, and the pattern, my pattern, the Lady of Lollybrock. And then we have 2 patterns donated by Janice, who is Whippity, the Wee Blackface Sheep, and Ramsey McSporan. And then from Kelly, who is Kelly Cron on Ravelry. If you're in the U.S., you'll get the Outlander candle on the screen, or if you're international, you'll get a $10 pattern from Ravelry. That's the Cal. Woo! Hashtag help me out, Cal. Let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we answer them.
So what is this week's question, Mare?
This week's question comes from Joanna, who is Infinity Explorer from New York, and she asks, in one of your episodes you talked about the amazing cheeses there.
They are amazing.
Here. Are there any American foods, dishes you like that they ask you about, or have you cooked for them? My German friends learn to make Mexican food from me every time they're here in the States visiting me. We have cooking class, so to speak.
Okay, so I jotted down a few when I first put this in the show notes. Mexican food, although it's becoming more common here, but we have done Mexican food stuff.
Yeah, they don't have green enchilada sauce.
They don't have the green chili enchilada sauce, which we miss desperately.
Bring it over here. Grow hatch chilies somewhere.
Yeah. Chicken fried steak.
Yum.
This is foreign to them.
It's so delicious.
So if you don't know what it is steak, but breaded like you would bread chicken. Fried chicken.
It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. With cream gravy, which they don't have here. Love cream gravy. Pickle roll-ups, which is my go-to holiday dish. So,
I only eat the ham.
So it's a pickle, which is a dilled cucumber wrapped in ham that's been spread with cream cheese.
I only eat the ham.
That's my go-to. Damaris used to love the pickles. She would eat them when she was little, but now she won't eat the pickles. And the other one I thought of is flavored coffee creamer. Coffee creamer is not very common around here. They typically use milk. But they do have just a generic coffee creamer, but the flavored stuff is just totally foreign. And I miss my pumpkin spice creamer and my peppermint mocha creamer.
What is the company that does it? I can see the logo.
Coffee Mate.
Yeah. Coffee Mate. Get over here.
And International Delight also does some.
Get over here.
Yeah. So those are the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. Can you think of any that I didn't write down?
No.
I'm sure there's others, but it's just not coming to me now. I'm glad I jotted those ones down when I first read the question. Yeah, that's all I can think of. So I hope that answers your question, Driana. Thank you for asking it. Damaris, if somebody wants to ask us a question, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. All right, well, we have a giveaway next, so better move on. So we tried to start this segment, and it was a massive fail. You probably can watch it at the end of the show. Yeah, we're going to try again. So we have a giveaway. So we mentioned it.
How exciting!
It is exciting. So we mentioned it earlier in Yummies. Katie, who is Mint Rain, has Mint Rain hand-dyed yarns. She sent us, here's her business card. And it's linked in the show notes for her shop. But, so she showed the yarn again that she sent. Mine's up there already, but we showed you this and the mini skeins. So she has sent I have to be careful and not show the code for the prize, a gift certificate for one of y'all for $20. And so we're going to do this giveaway over the next 2 weeks. What you need to do is go to Katie's shop, which is on Etsy. I'll link it in the thread and in the show notes. You need to come back to the thread in our Ravelry group and tell us your favorite colorway from her shop. It can either be currently in the shop or ones that has sold. You know how you can like look at the sold stuff on Etsy. We're going to leave it open for 2 weeks, so we will close the thread on Wednesday, the 1st of April. April Fool's Day. Just kidding, we're not really giving away a gift certificate. April Fools.
Bye.
But we really will give it away. So that's that episode will be episode 134, and that's where we'll announce the winner. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize. Must be a member of the group. Anything else? Thank you, Katie, for the giveaway.
Yeah.
and can't wait to hear about y'all's favorite colors. It was so hard to pick colors when she was going to send yarn to us. We were like, oh, we like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. But we had to narrow it down. So, all right, so make sure and enter the giveaway. Let's move on to the final segment. We made it to the end of the show. I'm not really sure how, but we're here somehow. I hope this has not been too convoluted or insane. I don't know.
Geeky.
Watch for the end after the credits for what Damaris is referencing. I'm not going to go into it again because then we're going to both start laughing hysterically until we cry. So we're not going to do that. Shh. Okay. We have some announcements.
I love it.
Yes, but after the credits. We have announcements. First one. The Doctor Who Villains kit that I'm doing with Julia of Pandia's Jewels went on pre-order earlier this week. There are still some kits available last time I checked. So the yarn, the kit that you're pre-ordering the kit, and it will ship out the week of the 6th of April. And it includes a skein of yarn from Julia, an amazing goodie. I can't wait to get mine. And you're getting one too. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fabulous. And a pattern from me. We have not said yet who the villain is, but it's a good one. Speaking of, we got to do a photo shoot for the pattern.
Okay.
We'll get on that. So it is $78 US plus shipping, and the link is in the show notes if you'd like to pre-order. Also upcoming is the Doctor Who Companion Sock Club 3rd edition that I'm doing with Julia. It'll go on sale mid-April and ship May, June, and July. It's 3 skeins of yarn, an amazing goodie. We're getting one of those too. And 3 of my sock patterns. All the details for that are in the show notes. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming cowl. What is the cowl called?
Doctor Who Inspired Socks Cowl.
And who are we co-hosting this thing with?
Sam, who is Stealth Dragon on Ravelry from Knit Run Dig, and Julia, who is Nimruz on Ravelry from Pandia's Jewels.
So what this cowl is you have to knit one of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns. So there's Rescue Me Chimboy and Show Me the Stars, Socks for 10, Spoiler Socks, Come Along Pond Socks, Souffle Girl Socks, and then if you were in the club, you could do Nice to Meet You Rose Socks, Hello I'm Captain Jack Harkness Socks, and K9 Says Affirmative Socks. We also will have the Villain Sock we'll release. The other 3 won't release, I don't think, in time. So you have a wide spectrum of patterns to choose from. Some are toe up, some are cuff down. Yeah. So, I have a coupon code going right now where you can save 15% off any of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns in my Ravelry store with the code DWCAL15. And also in Sam's Knit Run Dig Project Bag shop in her Etsy store, you can save 15% with the same coupon code, DWCAL15. Prizes. Thus far, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 prizes. So first up, it'll be 1 pattern per winner for 5 winners. They each will get to choose a Doctor Who inspired sock pattern from my Ravelry store. I don't think these earrings should be worn with this scarf because I keep catching them. So 5 winners for that. And 1 winner will win a copy of my Ultimate Doctor Who Inspired Sock Collection Volume 1. From Pandia's Jewels, we're going to have a TARDIS Needle Nook. Actually, I have one right here. So it's a needle nook made by Slip Stitch Studios. And it's got a pocket, and it's meant to keep your needles in here, and it's got the snaps so that your stitches don't fall off. It's really, really good for double points, but you can also use it with circulars. And then from Knit Run Dig, we will have a TARDIS project bag and a set of Doctor Who stitch markers, also from Knit Run Dig. In addition, there are going to be 3 chatter threads. So there's a chatter thread, I already opened them, in the Geeky Girls Knit group. There's one in the Pandia's Jewels group and one in the Knit Run Dig group. Each week, starting in April, running through the end of May, we're going to randomly select a group, and then we will randomly pick someone who has chatted in the thread that week to win one of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns. So, make sure and chat in all 3 groups because you don't know which group we're going to pick which week. So, the FO thread is going to be in the Geeky Girls Knit group. I've actually already opened it, or created it, but I locked it just so it's ready to go on April 1st. So you can post one time for completing a pair of any of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns. You can post a second time if you knit your socks with any Pandia's Jewels yarn. And you can post a third time if you can have a picture of your finished socks with any of Sam's Knit Run Dig project bags. So you can post up to 3 times per project. You could not have started the socks before April 1st. And you must finish them by May. Are there 30 or 31 days in May?
I don't know.
The last day of May, you must finish them by. And feel free to use the hashtag DWCal15 if you want to share it on Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. So that is the cowl. Like I said, the chatter threads are already open, so if you have any questions, you can post them there or send me a PM. That's fine too. And people are already planning and plotting which pair they're going to do. And you can do more than one pair. That's fine, because I know some of you are really fast knitters and can knit more than one pair in a 2-month period. That's totally fine. So yeah, that's the cowl starting April 1st. All right, is there anything else beyond our normal stuff, Mare?
No.
Okay, so we're Amazon affiliates. If you click through the links on our show notes page, if you're in the U.S. and then purchase something on Amazon, Amazon gives us a little money for that, which helps support the podcast. So if you're going to be shopping on Amazon anyway, we'd love it if you would click through our site to do it. And thank you so much to those who've done that. All right, Damaris, why don't you tell them where to find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com. There are links to everywhere else we're online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
And with that, I think we're going to go. Stay tuned after the credits for some craziness.
Geeky!
Geeky. Yeah. So we hope y'all have had a wonderful week. And it was great to meet some of y'all at EYF. And we're going to go try to knit or something. Well, no, I have to edit the podcast. But then I think we're going to knit and relax. Still recovering from EYF, but it was fabulous. So happy knitting to you, and we will talk to you same time next week. Bye.
Bye.
People, we're going to tell you things.
No.
I'm going to cut that out. Are you ready, people? We're going to tell you things. I think I'll put that at the end.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. What are we talking about?
That means you can't scare me.
Boo.
I'm pretending to be a sheep.
Bah!
Stop right now.
Bah!
Stop. Stop.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Okay.
Okay. So now we have a giveaway. So we mentioned it earlier, but let's give you the details now. We were just discussing our inability to pronounce the word geeky. I'm always light on the G at the front, and Nora has issues with the K. Maybe we should do it together. Maybe you should say the first half, and I'll say the second half. Key. There you go. We have a new plan in place. I don't know why it's such an issue. And we find it hysterical, I think, just because we're so tired.
Geeky.
I told her...
Just put this all at the end. This is not a good segment.
I told her that if we did it loudly, maybe it would be easier to pronounce. Come on, do it, Mare. Geeky.